Every time this always falls on me, so I need to make sure.
Hello, welcome back. My name is India. I happen to read a lot, and if you can tell by the stack and the day that this is uploaded, and also by the title of the video, this is a TBR video. We are discussing my May books, all the books that I want to read in May. April was fucking good. I had like 4 or 5 5-star reads in April. April was incredible. We are trying to emulate that with this beautiful stack that we have here for May. I learned a lot from the first quarter of the year, and if you want to know more about my thoughts and my observations and my takeaways from the first quarter of the year, check out my quarterly check-in video. But I learned from that, and this TBR has been chosen more with my heart than with the pressures that I put on myself, and I think this is going to be a very successful month. I think it is. I'm looking forward to it. Like with everything, and also what I mentioned in my quarterly check-in, there are some focuses for the month that I like to hit. I like to hit 2 new releases, a big chunky fantasy, a murder mystery, preferably a classic murder mystery, non-fiction, and then whatever takes my fantasy else during the month. We've hit all of that but non-fiction. My non-fiction pick I actually read in like 2 days at the very end of April, and I've been looking at this and seeing how chunky this book in particular is. I've decided we'll just skip non-fiction for May. But let's go into it. We're going to start first with our new releases. The first of the new releases is one that is incredibly exciting for me. Incredibly exciting. For those of you who are unawares or don't know, Janice Hallett is one of my all-time favourite crime authors. She's written The Appeal, which was one of the books that I read before becoming a bookseller. That was life-changing for me. She recently wrote The Examiner, which was really good, which comes out in paperback. She's got a new adult book coming out in September, which is called like The Killer Question, and it's based on killers at a pub quiz, which I'm very intrigued about. She has a background in screenwriting, so all of her books are in the epistolary format, told through texts and emails and newspaper clippings and everything, and it makes so much sense. She's still actively a screenwriter. I think last year one of her screenplays was turned into a film and was out, so she's booked and busy. She's getting work everywhere. This is Janice Hallett's children debut. I don't really subscribe to celebrities writing children's books when we could be supporting up-and-coming children's authors. It's not really my thing. But Janice Hallett, I trust. I think she's going to write an incredible mystery. This follows 2 siblings, Ava and Luke, as you can see there. Also, look how badly cut that is. I'm not complaining because it's a proof of Janice Hallett, and I love her, but I did notice that when I was looking about it. It follows siblings Ava and Luke, who find a mysterious box filled with what seems to be an unsolved murder case, shoved in a box in the back of their dad's attic, and they decide to take it upon themselves to solve this murder case themselves because it's been unsolved for decades. And that's all you really need to know going in. As per usual, it has got the amazing epistolary format that Janice Hallett is known for, with some amazing illustrations. Does it say who was the illustrator? Anyway, I'm very, very excited. I love Janice Hallett's work, and I'm excited to see how she attempts and tackles to write a kid's book. It'll be interesting to compare her adult work to her children's work. So yes, very excited. I was not expecting to get a proof, so I'm incredibly grateful. Thank you to Penguin. Then we have Isabella Nag and the Pot of Basil by Oliver Darkshire. I've not read any Oliver Darkshire work. This is a very short fantasy. Is this a novella? How many pages? Oh, it's just under 250 pages. I was having a conversation with my friend Morgan because my friend Morgan thinks 250 pages should count as a novella. What I've been doing 200 as a novella. I'm going to Google it later. But Isabella Nag and the Pot of Basil, or Basil, depending where you're from, follows a young farmer's wife who decides to help out around the village and help out around the farm, and she's gonna learn a little bit of magic, and she causes utter chaos. Depressed sentient animals, talking herbs, villainous Ponzi schemes involving goblin fruits. So there we go. That looks really, really exciting. I'm very excited. There also seems to be footnotes at the bottom of the book as well, which seems really funny. So I'm really looking forward to this. I mentioned in I think it was my 17th weekly vlog, how I was going through a really weird vibe of being like, I wanted to go slow, so I've set myself a smaller target, but also I have been reading slower this month. But weirdly, my brain, my ultra competitive brain who likes to compete against myself, is like, you've not read enough books this year. What do you mean you've only read On average, I've read about 10 books this month, which for a lot of people is an amazing feat. But for me, I'm like, I'm normally racking up 14, 15. What are we doing? And subconsciously, when I was like choosing my books, apart from one of my chunky fantasies later, I've been choosing really short books. Like, really short books. But there we go. Then we have the first book that I will be reading in the month of May. This is A Girl Walks into the Forest by Madeline Rue. I've heard a lot about this author. This is my first book of theirs. I don't really know anything else about what they've written. This follows Vala, who is been told her beauty would give her a life most people only dreamed of. When the mysterious Count Leonid calls on her to be his betrothed, she jumps at the chance, the only thing standing in her way, a journey through the dangerous Gotya woods. I love books that are set in kind of mysterious woods. Again, it's a lot shorter than I anticipated it being. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I also just love creepy forests who kind of have their own identity and an entity within itself. I love those. So that sounds really good. But then it also ends with saying that after she barely survives the journey to the Count's castle, she will soon learn that true horror awaits in her home. So yeah, it just seems very creepy and horriful, and I want to branch out and read more horror. So these are my new releases. I'm very excited for them. Even though this one's quite chunky, naturally with epistolary novels, you do just fly through them. So I will probably fly through these books. But yeah, really excited. I'm really excited in the way that I see the second part of the publishing for this year seems to be going. Very, very exciting. Now we're going to talk about my murder mystery reads. Obviously, A Box Full of Murders is a murder mystery read, so that technically comes under that bracket as well. But I've been trying to focus on getting back into my classic murder mystery era, and we are going to be reading... Come along. I am going to be reading Cover Her Face by P.D. James. This is a charity shop copy. Oh wait, no, I got this in a sale. I got this in a clearance sale. This is the first in a detective series. I do love a murder mystery series with one set detective and a massive backlist of books to get through. So I'm excited to read this. So Cover Her Face follows the death of a young maid called Sally Jupp, found at the manor house of the richest family in the village, and Detective Chief Inspector Adam Dalglish is embroiled in the complicated passions between the calm surface of English village life. And I will say, I love a murder mystery set in an English village where everybody knows everybody and everybody likes to think they're better, and we're like, oh no, we're just a small village, we keep to ourselves, there's nothing to see here, but they're all kind of evil. Love it. If you give me a corrupt, evil English village, I will read it. So I'm excited to read this. I've been wanting to read some of P.D. James's work for a really long time. This has been sat on my shelf for a couple of years now, and I also own the second one in the new editions and the new covers, which I hate the new covers, which is such a shame because these covers are so much better. They have so much character and personality compared to the new very basic kind of mass market vibes. I like it when it looks like illustrators are involved. But yes, I'm very excited. Again, another very short book for May. And also, look at the fucking margin on that. I'm gonna bloody fly through these books this month. But no, I'm really looking forward to it. I've heard amazing things about this series, and also it's like a staple classic. I say classic, when did this come out? Oh, she was born in 1920, classic murder mystery. Okay, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to just getting back into these murder mysteries, and I think this is a good way to do it. Moving on to the fantasy books. For those who don't know, I am trying to read all of the books that were longlisted for the fantasy category in the 2024 Goodreads Choice Awards. Still trying to figure out how I say that. I've read 3 so far. I have read A Sweet Sting of Salt, The Dead Cattail Assassins, and The Tainted Cup. More on The Tainted Cup in my wrap-up because I recently read it. So we're now moving on to the next 2 for the month. So we are starting off with Voyage of the Damned by Frances White. This has a little bit of pressure on it because 1, it was a book that I was never really fussed about reading until it was on this challenge. 2, I just read probably one of my favourite fantasy murder mysteries ever. So I think this is going to be fighting my preconceived notions this month. I will say that. This is probably one of the chunkier books of the month. One of my friends really liked it. One of my friends didn't love it, but it's part of the challenge and we shall see. I will be vlogging this. I've already sorted out half of my vlog for The Tainted Cup. This is the second half. Hopefully I like it. Maybe we'll DNF it. Who knows? Then this is the last book I'm going to attempt to read in May. I'm going to read all of these books first before I attempt this bad boy. It's crazy. This is also in the Goodreads challenge. This is The Bright Sword by Lev Grossman. I'm still not sure what the best pronunciation. I need to look up. But it's set after the death of King Arthur. It's kind of a new take on Arthuriana, but it's set after the death of King Arthur. And it follows Callum, who is a young knight who arrives to Camelot. He's ready to be a part of King Arthur's court. King Arthur's fucking dead. He's gone. R.I.P., rest in peace and all of that. And it's about how he works with, what characters is it? He works with Merlin, Nimue, who is known in Arthuriana as the Lady of the Lake, and some other oddball knights like Sir Palomides and Sir Dagonet, who was knighted as a joke. Love that. And it's basically all the remaining people from Arthur's court, the people that are overlooked. Maybe some of these are made up knights and you're going to be like, indeed, these knights aren't real. I don't know. But they are trying to rebuild Camelot after the death of King Arthur. This is currently 674 pages with the tiniest font known to man. So this is definitely a book I will attempt to read at the end of the month. I don't think I have read this chunky of a book for ages. For absolutely ages. I don't think I have. So I'm excited though. I'm excited. I said I wanted to read chunky fantasy and Lee Grossman said pull up it. So here we are. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading it, but I am tackling it at the end of May because I want to get through all the other books first. And this is definitely a book that I know I won't finish in May. This will be a book that filters its way into June. And probably a book that I read alongside other things because it's so chunky. I'm either going to lock in and read the whole thing all at once, or I will dip in and dip out. We'll see how it goes. Then we go on to kind of the miscellaneous. I've already mentioned I'm reading no non-fiction this month. Mainly, well, one, because my allocated non-fiction book I read earlier, but also that book's chunky, and I can only accept one kind of slow-paced or chunky book in a month. Jesus. But we then move on to the miscellaneous. So starting off first, I want to get back into reading romance books. I'm going to also attempt to put one romance book in a month, and we're going to start with The Next Best Fling by Gabriella Gamez. This is... It's my favourite trope. I'm sorry. I love fake dating. I love the fake dating trope. It's so much fun in my eyes. I love it. So this follows librarian Marcela Ortiz, who has been secretly in love with her best friend for years, but then he gets engaged. Arsehole. And I just actually have read one line, which says that she meets young ex-NFL player and older brother of the man. It's getting scandalous already. How did I miss that bit when I read this? Also, this also looks slightly weirdly off. The text at the back looks off. Publishers, what's going on? Anyway, then she meets Leo, who's an ex-NFL player. I mean, I've seen that man's arms. And he is in love with his brother's fiance. It's so scandalous. It's so scandalous. And it's the fake dating trope because people assume that at the engagement party they hooked up. And they're just like, hey, fuck it, let's just roll with the lie. But then obviously feelings will surface. And yeah, I want to read some more romance. And I thought, come on. And then the other one, because I'm also trying to get back into reading manga. I was trying to do the Little Black Classics. I bought the fourth one and I was so bored. So we're scrapping the Little Black Classics. And we're going back to my manga obsession. I don't know why I tried to stay away from her. So the next book I'm going to read is the fourth volume of Children of the Whales. This is really, really good. It's set in a world... in an endless sea of sand drifts, the mud whale, a floating island of city of clay and magic. There is a small collection of magic wielders who think that they're the only ones left. They find out they're not, and it gets dangerous and very scary. But it's really, really good, and I'm really enjoying the plot. I actually thought I was further ahead, but I'm not. And yes, I'm trying to get into the habit of reading, like every day off that I have, read a manga volume. To just keep the ball rolling, because I recently read Yona of the Dawn Volume 6, which will get mentioned in my wrap-up, and that was insane. And I forgot how insane it was, though. But that's it. This is the May TBR. I'm feeling like I could do this. I feel like this is going to be another good month like April was. The Bright Sword is the one thing that makes me a tad bit nervous. Just because I'm like, because it's so chunky, I hope it keeps my attention for long enough. I hope I enjoy it. And I hope I don't do that thing where I like pick it up, put it back down, and then kind of every time I pick it up again, I just can't be arsed anymore. We'll see, but I'm feeling good. If you want to see me attempt to read this book, there will be a vlog for this one, probably a separate vlog to the Tainted Cup and Voyage of the Damned, because I think it needs its own video. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe and all of that fun stuff. I don't know how to fucking end these things.